I've actually got two quick questions. First, about 4 years ago, the department stopped putting money out for the recycling fund. And when the Common Sense Caucus started looking at these funds, every May it looked like in the savings account, which we had not had oversight over before, around May, all of a sudden there was money dumped into those funds and they went up, leveled off, nothing went out, again, raised again. Why was the money not given out to the county recycling centers and those processes, and what's been the effect? And then second, since you brought this up, I'd like to find out if you guys have anybody Lean and Six Sigma working on these programs, because consolidating and doing the massive stuff that you're doing 3 years ago when they were trying to consolidate 5 different departments, nobody that was in front of that committee, not one secretary, knew what Lean or Six Sigma were.
Thank you. On the latter, I don't have the exact certifications and all of that in front of me. Actually, as of today, we have a new director of business transformation in the agency who's exactly engaged in Lean processes. I will say, too, my background is while not specifically Lean Six Sigma, it was very much focused on I started in environmental management systems, so ISO 14001 certifications and going through those processes. So Lean, Six Sigma, these kind of process improvement things are things that have long been near and dear to my heart. So it's and in fact, one of the reasons for the business transformation position, we had identified, for example, in the mining e-permit, reduced the size of that permit by about 20%, just going through the IT process for the electronic permitting. My challenge in bringing on this person was, I want to make sure we're bringing on somebody who can look at those processes outside of the IT context and not be waiting for us to be in a position to do e-permitting or inspection, but really looking at all the processes. On the recycling fund, there's, I think, 2 things within the question. One is in terms of the specifics of a few years ago, we had the fee was sunsetting. So we had started planning for that, and as part of that plan, not putting out additional grant dollars, so we were spending down what was in the account given the existing grants. Some of what you see in that too is just the cash flow of the way that program works. We get quarterly payments into the program. So there's a number of programs that we have like that where we tend to see a big payment right before the end of a fiscal year into the program, and that will impact the balance going into the next fiscal year.
I can understand those monies being dumped in, but they never went down. There was a spike, it leveled, and then the next year there was another spike and it leveled, but the money never got spent out.
So again, the balance that we have in that account was being spent down. It's first money in, first money out, and we're committing those dollars in grants. Part of what happens, again, in the recycling program in particular, which is unusual compared to most grant programs, typically you're getting in a grant, series of grant applications, making a decision, creating a grant agreement, and then that creates the commitment on the fund. The biggest payout that we do in the recycling fund is around our performance grants, and that is essentially when the application comes in, the money gets committed then, as opposed to having a commitment document that gets paid out over a number of years. So we're putting thumb on the dollars, but it goes out in a chunk each year. So we're managing it that way.
I'm just saying that the balance never dropped. If you look at the Treasury Department's website, the balance never dropped.